Recently, I had something annoying and somewhat embarrassing happen with the car, and that is at random times, the alarm would go off. It could be 8:30 in the morning, it could be 1:30 in the morning, and during the times where that happened, I rushed to the car, no one was around, and I noticed that when I hopped into the front seat and I checked the dash, there's an alert saying that the back left door was open, even though it's not. So I got out, I opened the back left door and then closed it again, and at that instant, the alert did go away from the dash, but eventually it came back. So that tells me that there's something wrong with the door switch and that it has to be replaced. And to add insult to injury, at least with my 2013 Acura TL, when the car registers that a door is open, it will prevent you from locking unless you manually lock it from the inside. In other words, if you hear the alarm and you hit the unlock button on your key fob to suppress the alarm and then the lock button to lock your car, it won't actually lock because it thinks that one of the doors is open. I went on the web and did a little bit of research. In my case, I went to O'Reilly, which is the nearby auto parts store. This switch is from Import Directs, and as a matter of fact, this part fits multiple Honda and Acura models, which is good to know. Some reviews were good, while others said that they had some issues fitting. O'Reilly was nearby, and since I brought my tools along, I fixed it right there in their parking lot. 2 weeks later, still no problems, which means that in my mind, the problem has been fixed. I'm gonna show you how to do that. First things first, locate the switch that you want to replace, and in my case, it's right over here. To remove this switch, we're first going to open this flap down here. So take your fingernail, kind of go in between, and then open up this to reveal the screw. Now you could use a screwdriver potentially, but I found that this was on too tight, so I didn't want to strip it, and I'm going to use a socket wrench over here. Careful not to scratch your paint. You might have to loosen this by hand. I'm going to take out the screw. There it is. And then when you take this out, be careful. Kind of take this out in an angle, kind of swivels out. To disconnect the switch, push this little lever on the back of the cable. You can use your thumbnail or something and then it'll slide right off. Hold on to this part, you don't want to lose it. Take your new one, plug it back in the same orientation. You hear that snap, then feed this back into the hole that's in the door jamb. And it should fit pretty snugly. You might have to wiggle this a little bit. I found that the brand that I bought is maybe slightly bigger, maybe 1/16 of an inch or maybe even less bigger, and you might have to wiggle this around to get it to fit exactly. Start tightening this back up, give it a wiggle just to make sure it's going in properly and that it's not shifting around, and then tighten the rest of the way with the socket wrench. You don't want to make it too tight. This is just a little switch. So after a while, when it's kind of snug, make sure it's not going anywhere, and then put this flap back on and you're done. I did read that the hood latch sensor could also be an issue on these cars after like 10 years. Mine seems fine, but I'll also keep an eye on it just because we're approaching 11 years this year with the TL. After 2 weeks, as I said before, there's no more random car alarms going off in the middle of the night, so I'm pretty happy with this repair. If you're thinking about doing this yourself, I encourage you to do so because all you have to do is buy a part like this. It doesn't even have to be this brand, something that will directly replace your door switch. And it's something that just either tells the car it's on or off, right? It's pretty simple. And even if you don't have the tools, you can buy something like this for like less than 10 bucks. I got this from Harbor Freight for maybe like $7. And so for a combined price of less than $20, you can do it yourself. That's all I got for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.